kind of just cut him in half, right?
Quasi was already short. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Wow, guys. Wow. Okay. So
I really knocked it out of the park today.
let's keep that
That's
there.
a good start to the day.
It's a start. We'll go with that. We need to get a new character in here. My campaigns. You got all your stuff done, your spells and your feats.
I have stuff. I have spells, and I have cantrips. I didn't put any in.
All right.
Because I was having trouble with Discord anyway. I didn't want to spend all day or all night.
Yeah,
We could do
well
later. Hopefully.
I'm all ready
I'm
for this
going
really bad joke.
to.
I bet
I'm
he's got
gonna-
at least 2 feats.
Wow, sir.
You never know. He could have a
Yes.
peg leg when he only has 1 feet.
Wow, guys.
You never know. I may have just the feet we need for whatever.
Could have 6 feet. Who knows?
All right. Well, I arbitrarily chose 4 feats for you. Good luck with them.
Okay.
You just pick 4 feats that make sense and
I did tough, warcaster, elemental adept, cold, and spell sniper, and gave him eldritch blast.
Nice. Perfect.
Cool.
That's better than what I was going to suggest. Start alphabetically at the top with the A's and just work your way down.
Correct.
So he gets a Baron, alert,
Alert, athletic, actor.
athletic, actor. Yeah, those are the 4 he gets. Yep.
And move this to here. Give permissions, configure ownership. You are the owner. Yeah, YouTube gets to see all that I just did. Lucky YouTube, I guess.
I've seen what YouTube sees. It's nothing that spectacular.
Wow. Let's see.
How do I turn off that X split thing? That video background thing.
What XSplit thing?
So a while ago, like you had suggested that we maybe did it by itself. There it is.
It's
That background thing.
AVQOL.
Well, I just because I don't use it, I just went and just removed the program.
Oh, you're talking XSplit itself,
Yeah.
not the thing
Because
within
when
Foundry.
I know, like
Okay.
I found out where I can switch it up, but it was like it was set as default to use it when I opened it with Chrome. So
I
just
understand.
straight up remove the program itself because I don't need it.
Nice.
There we go.
Didn't. Oh, okay. Let's Why are all my halfling tokens servers?
I think that really says something about how you think about the serving class.
No, it tells you what he thinks about halfling.
Or bards?
Or both. Or all three.
Or how he thinks of all of us.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no. Trust me. We're way worse off.
Here, we're just going to use that as our token for now. Name is hovered by anyone, resources hovered by owner, and there. Until we get a Hero Forge version, there's what we have. All right, Dad. So this is you. This is your. Not that you can move right now, because the game's paused. But this guy with the purple jacket. This is you until we get a token. You should be able to double click on it to bring up your character sheet.
Yep.
I don't know what Leaf uses because you're kind of used to his game. But you can push E on your keyboard, and that's kind of where like the quick and dirty stuff is that you can have quick access to.
Ooh, that's cool.
And then you can just push
We don't have
E.
this.
You can just push E again to get rid of it. Up at the top right where the 4 helmets are, if you right click on that, that will open up your character sheet. I don't know if anybody knew that, actually.
Say again?
The 4 helmets, if you right click on it, it'll open up your character sheet.
Oh.
And then the only other thing is down at the bottom where the hotbar is, where all the macros go. If you click on the teeny tiny folder icon, which is for browse macro directory,
Yeah.
and then in the search, just start typing death. There's a macro called death save. Copy that down to your hotbar, because you will send me a blind roll, meaning it'll show me the roll and nobody else.
That's
Save. Death save.
okay.
Copy that down to your 1 through 0 hotbar.
Yes, we use that way too often.
Really.
Other useful
Okay,
ones you could
it's-
add.
It's in number 1. That's
I would suggest putting that as 0, but you know, you do what you want
Hey,
to do.
if you want to make that a priority role, you go for it.
you never know.
Especially with this group.
Well, you know.
That's not fair, Kappa. It's just you who dies all the time.
Ooh.
I think the last 3 sessions, Kappa's almost died every session in the last 3 sessions.
Yet I'm still here.
That's because
Yes,
you
but-
guys bought a lot of diamonds.
Well, you're like 3/4 here.
Really?
And I used a mercy token for you. You're welcome.
Right.
That's true. That's accurate.
But at the end of the day, I am still here.
That mercy token that let me do it a reroll was the most epic result you could get.
Mhm.
Bastard. I mean, love you. Okay. Great. So, who wants to do what happened last time on Rime of the Frostmaiden?
I was frozen in stone the whole session. End of session for me.
That's true.
Well, I guess I can do it then. So after the combat with the drow, the dryad that Trace was talking to started to eat up the dead drow. Oh no, I'm sorry. Let's back up for a second. Right at the end of the combat, my Trace noticed that one of the drow was saying something in a language he did not understand. Upon investigation, he was drawing and or carving a rune into his chest. Trace decided to finish him off, at which point it looked like something happened, but we didn't know what happened. The dryad ate up all the drow with the tree roots to use them as fertilizer, and then fed the party the purple pear-looking things. Most people took them but did not eat them, but not Kappa. He consumed a whole dozen of them. So the dryad told Trace which way was the quickest way to Yithrin, so we headed that direction, only to find a rune matching the one on the drow's chest. Blocking our path is a magic force field. Through some spectacular rolls that I was not involved in whatsoever, we discovered which rune was the linchpin of the whole thing, and then Zarsius decided he was going to try and cheese the wards by face stepping or misty step, whichever one it was, through the barrier, only for one of the other runes to activate and then petrify him. So the rest of the party figured out through some words that were inscribed in the force wall itself that there's 2 keys needed to open the doors. So Trace kind of went off by himself one direction, and the rest of the party went to where they knew where one key was at. Got the key, fought some little dinky dudes, wiped the floor with them, gathered back up, and then we happened to find a stasis room with some snowmen and a wizard in it. Once we entered the room, the stasis broke and combat ensued. The wizard joined us on our quest, who doesn't seem to remember who he is, but we happened to find the other key in the melted remains of the snowmen. So we went back to the barrier, deactivated it. Thankfully, Zarsius unpetrified. And as we came across the threshold and around the corner, there was a long, very long, 8-hour-long walk, very long, ice bridge, which finally led us to Yithrin. And that's where we left off.
What about the tentacle horror that brain fucked you?
Look, I don't remember that because I was brain fucked.
I think only one person remembers it, right? And everyone else doesn't even remember.
Marigold, I think, was the only one who was like, "The fuck is that thing? Why is everybody standing still?" And just picked us all up and kept going.
There was one other. There was 2 of you that survived that.
Was it Quasi?
Quasi
survivor?
Yeah,
I think
Quasi.
so.
Yeah.
He's not here,
I think
so
you
we
are
don't count.
correct. I mean, his character is still here, guys.
And because I was stoned the whole session, all I know is I went through the barrier, and then barrier was opened, and I wasn't stoned. So I think I fixed everything, just so you know.
That's accurate. I mean, you totally did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's not forget that I gotta go up and touch everything.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You have to touch everything.
Suggestively.
Not Marigold, but Villain is has some sort of affliction as well. Trace, do you remember what your affliction is?
I'm deaf.
And it's slowly coming back.
Well, after
It
we
should
took a
be
long rest,
after the long rest. That's yours should be
I
back.
should be right as rain again.
Yep.
Basically, Trace is good to go. We did sleep right at the end.
Villain is
Like 3 days of this
overly
shit.
paranoid
Mhm.
about things coming to get her.
Who is this?
Villain is the
It's-
NPC who's with us.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not her
okay.
real name, but that's what they've caveated it to be. So it's canon that her name is now Villain.
Villain.
Mm-hmm.
Her name was
So-
similar to Villain, but because it was
It's
too
like
difficult to say, we
Velvet.
just said Villain, and it just stuck.
Yeah, basically
Lane or
that's
something.
just how that went.
That was all Bakar's fault. Why is
It is.
Oh man. And then Kappa, every
Yeah.
time he takes damage, he's got to make
Oh,
a
that's
saving
right.
throw.
That's right.
Yeah. Don't remind everyone.
Oh, I did. Don't worry.
What? I wasn't listening. Sorry.
And I had it for like 9 or 10 days or
Days,
something. It
I
was an
think.
insane
Yes,
amount for me.
9 days.
Wow.
He's got
Yours
8
was
more
the
to go.
longest.
That was
No, no, no. It's not 9 long rests. It's 9 days. It has not
True, but
been a
it's-
full day since he got mind fucked.
True, but it's still less than 9 now. It's like 8.5.
So we
I'll give
just
you that.
need 27 long rests, and we'll be good.
Except you can only take those every so often.
Yep. All right, so let's get to the correct map, shall we? Isn't there just like just a sexy one? Yeah, this one'll work. Let's toggle navigation. So it pops up, and let's activate. Can you guys see the fancy map?
Yep.
Okay.
I,
Ooh.
So,
Coming in from
I see the nice little map says
here.
Acropolis up.
yes.
It's all
So
It's all-
this is the
it's
ice
all
tongue.
Alton's favorite.
Oh,
all
okay.
ice.
Yeah. It's part of Rime of the Frostmaiden. They're nothing but an ice. This is the ice tongue that you guys kind of took a wee rest on. And
Down here in the lower left.
hey, Kappa, I don't know if your mic is through your headset or your camera, but we can hear every time you crunch into that bag. Every time.
I just like how he puts it away like a kid caught in the candy store.
I mean, you can still munch, but like, I don't know where your camera's coming from, but it's getting everything.
Okay.
I don't think it's coming from your headset.
I think
Nah,
it's coming.
I
from
think
the
it's coming from
camera.
the camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Because normally it's not that bad.
That's true. Normally it's not. That's why I'm, picking on the kid today. All right, let me
All
gonna
right.
have to zoom out.
The
Move this
Hunger
around.
Caves.
That's where you guys came from.
So, is there enough light for us to see this giant tower in the distance, or are we just on this ice and we just see like an entrance?
So there is green and purple light throughout the city in and of itself. So you don't see it in quite as clear color as this super cool map has. But for my purposes, you basically, within reason, see at least most of this. I mean, obviously, the things that are directly behind the giant spire, you're not going to see, right? But at least most of all this in the front here is in my interpretation is visible. Green and purple lights cast an otherworldly glow upon the frost-draped, silent city. Clawing spires, broken domes, and steepless leaning at odd angles surrounding a huge citadel.
Steeples.
What?
Steeples.
Whatever.
Mhm.
You guys again were traveling through that passage, dark, shitty fucking passage, for about 8 or so hours, to the point of being almost at exhausted. And Villain cast her bubble, and Marigold threw up her tent. Rest and sentries were had. Long rest happened. So if you haven't done your spells, go ahead and do so. I think everybody did while we were having the technical difficulties. And then hopefully everybody has done the long rest, their spell slots and whatnot, to come back. I'm fucking Kappa. I'm good. It's like every noise. Every noise. You're bonkers today.
I thought I turned it off.
I don't know.
Alright.
Don't know. But yeah, you guys got your long rest. So after your rest, I'm sure at least 3 of you are ready to go. One being the very annoying Professor Scant, Villain, and probably T-Race. So for the morning, use that term very loosely because you guys are so far underground and have no reference of any sort of sun to know any time of day. What do you do?
Is the structure itself giving off enough light to where we can see where we're at, or is it just enough to see the outline? Is it all still cloaked in shadow?
Most of it is cloaked in shadow. It's mostly like the larger spires that are somewhat visible. It's not like the entire city is flooded with the green and purple lights. It's just here and there, like within some windows and some spires, is basically what you see. So you don't really see detail like on the streets or any buildings.
In other words, it's dark AF.
It's dark AF, yes. And your dark vision of this distance truly doesn't help.
Fair enough, but I still need to recast it, so.
Right?
Yes. Whenever we get to a spot, you can do so. Person does.
Just do it right.
Why do I get Midgard vibes from this place?
Why do you get Midgard vibes? Is that what
Yeah.
you said?
Yep.
Because
right.
the spires of something are sounding for some help or some shit, shooting a Death Star.
Or the thing looks like a very big plate, like the Final Fantasy City.
Right. So
Trace, give me a history roll.
Sorry, hold on. I'm going to pull up my actor page.
Can I interrupt?
You just did. Congratulations.
Good, because my character says he's a party token and he has only 10s per attribute. He has nothing.
Correct. There's
I
no
am-
tokens on this map.
Okay,
There,
so
this is not a map where you're actually going to be moving anything.
Okay.
Is this just a normal roll or a advantage roll?
This would be advantageous. That tower had in the middle has a name, but you, for the life, can't remember it.
Database corrupted.
Fair enough.
right? So, do we know where we're going in the city? Because it looks fairly large to me.
Response: I cannot tell which district we are closest to. I will not know until we are closer to the city itself.
Right? So we're just gonna walk down, look around, find out where we are, and then what's the plan? Like, do we know where we're going? What we need to do exactly?
Response: I believe we need to shut down or release the Frostmaiden's control of the main computer. or separate her from the main power source.
Or
Hey.
defeat her.
So, do we know which one? I guess we just gotta look around first, find out where we are. Let's get that done, and then we'll figure out what we're doing. Music, though.
Got a nice rhythm to it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Kingdom of Stars. Brought to you by Tabletop RPG. Thanks, guys. All right, so you guys are going to collectively gather up, except for Alton, who's not here yet, and continue walking down the ice tongue into the city proper. Is that what I'm understanding?
I believe that is correct, yes.
Excellent.
Since I no longer have dark vision, I'm gonna cast light on my ring again.
Okay. Okay, so going down the icy path here. It's definitely I'll say a more normal feeling ice. In that in comparison to the Frostmaiden's island, where that ice was hard as fuck, almost impossible to chip. This feels more natural, considering the fact that she's using this place for something that's kind of maybe odd to some of you, maybe not. Your interpretation here. And what I mean by it feels more natural is that your cleats are actually digging into them as you're walking, digging into this icy path. And as you kind of, gather yourself about and look around and, as far as your vision can go, a fall from this would probably kill you. It's pretty far down. So that should give you some indication of perhaps how deep Ythryn itself is inside this ice. If even just this tiny, walkway that you're on, a slip and fall could kill you, this thing's got to be buried significantly deep inside. Excuse me. As you get closer, and I'll move the party token. Boop. As you get closer to this area here, these structures around the outside, if Trace, Zarcius, and Kappa could give me history rolls, please. And Marigold as well.
Normal for me or still at advantage?
Everything in this place is advantage. Zarcius, yes. Trace, yes. Marigold, yes. Kappa, yes. All of you recognize the structure from a certain tower that was upside down. The way that these things look is very reminiscent of that tower that you guys explored, that you found the copy of the Red Wizard, and had all that fun with bringing illusions to life and Eerie turning to stone. Making you think that it was one of these spires that had broken off and fallen. So that should give you at least a little bit as far as like how Yithrin fell, the travel distance. I mean, that was, I'm using way back there kind of the situation there, but that was a long way away. And sure, over time, ice pushes and melts and things expand and contrast and whatever else distance traveling, but Yithrin fell. I mean, it's travel. You can just imagine what other bits and bobs fell on this path. And maybe others have followed that broken path here. After all, you did find one wizard so far. The structure of this place is like nothing anybody except for Trace has ever seen before. The architecture it is smooth and it's very, very precise, as though everything that you're seeing so far has some kind of purpose. There doesn't appear to be like a wasted building or anything like that. Everything seems to be for, again, a purpose. What I mean by that, as you're getting closer and your eyes start to adjust, and as you're being able to see more and more and more, you don't see like a plethora of houses like you would in any other city. You don't see like farmland or anything like that. You just see buildings that are, all of it that you can see seems to be made out of this strange metal. And the shapes aren't all like right angle squares like your typical house or so would be. It's very alien to you. And as you get closer and closer to the wall of Yithrin and come down to the city itself properly, you can see that at the end here, where's my little pointer? At the end here, appears to be a 20-ish foot tall construct that is broken, it seems, and on its side. And give me perception checks, everybody. For vision, for those who have broken bullshit.
Dude, where is my perception?
What?
Oh, wow.
Oh, Kappa, nice. Oh, G-Race and Mirren. Fuck yeah. I mean, that's enough successes. Most of you can tell that this fallen construct has been a recent fall, because the broken shell still has bits of sparks and smoke coming out of it, as though it was recently destroyed.
Can we see what actually, like, scorch marks or residual spell marks or anything like that on it?
For your crit, I'll give you that there is definitely some kind of scoring around the broken area, as well as a few bolts in the weakened joints. And the as you like kind of pull one of the bolts out, they look reminiscent of like the weapons of the drow that you all just turned into, fertilizer.
Oh, this doesn't look promising.
Response. I believe the drow had escaped from Yithrin. The Dryad had said something about that they had escaped containment.
Hmm.
Perhaps we should be on guard. There might be more containment breaches.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Trace, the head of this looks very reminiscent of the broken one that you found in the caves. So,
Oh, at the beginning of the Caves of Hunger?
yes.
Gotcha.
And you guys can figure that if this thing were active and standing, it probably stands at least 21, 22 feet tall. This thing is huge.
Beyond my skill to repair. So,
Now that we're... Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Oh no, you had something to say. I had a question.
Oh, I was about to just say, so are we going to move forward, or are we just going to stand on this ice? Because my feet are getting cold.
Alright, now, with that being said, now I'm going to ask my question. Can I tell which district we're in now that we're closer into the city? Do I recognize where we're at in the city?
Let's see. Put you here. And you didn't activate your dark vision. So give me that history roll. Your brain's a bit wonkered. Let's see what you got. Your brain is still wonkered, my friend.
Well,
Well,
That's
what
okay.
you do see as you are looking around, you do see a kind of sunken in maybe stadium situation where these three tuning fork looking structures are. You do have a spire right here that's got a nice little pathway up there. This seems to be some kind of gated community, if you will. You're not, again, you guys don't know any of these things are, but there's some kind of protective field that even now is still flickering with life around here.
Hey, so do we want to just head for the center, or should we head in a specific direction?
hold on one second. I'll answer that question as soon as I...
I'm touching this robot.
Okay. Since you're touching the robot, you realize that it's not made of metal, but stone.
Huh.
Prime Evil Awareness, 6 miles. What is this
I
feigned?
would-
What is it?
It's aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead. And I would assume Yithrin is favored terrain for me. If not, if as long as it's classified as tundra or arctic, I'm still good.
Great question.
Because it's either going to be arctic or underdark would be my two guesses.
I'm pocketing a couple of the bolts off this robot.
It's stone
there's no bolts.
Okay, cool.
And even as you kind of like reach inside to try to find something, it's all been turned to stone.
Been turned to stone.
It seems
Huh.
that way. It's all stone.
Can I see how realistic it looks? Like if it was carved or like people assumed it was turned to stone? Similar to what the Frostmaiden did, like if like her ice statues, like if you were turned to stone you have very lot of detail, but then if you were carved it's less.
Yeah, give me an investigation roll. Fays, fiends, undeads. I wish this thing would tell me how big is Yithra.
There is a scale down there,
Hmm.
Is it scale down here?
bottom
Yeah.
left corner.
Oh.
So it's about
12 squares is 200 feet.
I wonder if this will. I do measurement. That
Oh, yeah,
kind of
nice.
is close. That's kind of close.
La la dee da dee da dee da.
I'm gonna say
it's-
6 miles is within Yithrin. Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
All right. So within Yithrin itself, you do detect the presence of undead. You do detect the presence of aberrations. A lot of aberrations.
Probably at least one celestial. Hey.
No, you do not detect any celestials.
Oh my.
Looks like she's not home. Or she's home and this isn't home.
Unless something is revealed later that I'm not seeing. As far as like the other things, the phase, the elementals. And this, of course, will not detect anything that is separated by any sort of magical barrier. So you know that there are probably everything that you should be able to detect in Yithrin, just because they were wizards who did experiments. But they are at least currently not yet out of their containment, or they are hidden from your third eye, if you will.
I know that I can't pinpoint them or number them, like with great detail, but can I at least tell where the closest batch is at?
As far as the aberrations, the closest batch is kind of everywhere. Unfortunately, and they're just so many that it's just kind of blobs all over your mental map, if you will. Significantly less undead. A ton of aberrations.
Information is available. Please be careful. I am detecting lots of aberrations and some undead. And, well, basically everything.
They,
So this city is actually really small. I just did the conversion. It's less than a quarter of a mile across, according to their scale.
I wish there was.
That sounds pretty small for a city.
they,
Response: Yithrin was not about how great in numbers we were. It was the mobility of it all.
a flying city would be
Oh.
pretty hard to attack, no matter how many people were on board.
True.
So, if there's danger, like everywhere, I'm guessing we should go quietly so that we don't have to fight everything.
Response. I believe that is best.
Right. So I'm
Kappa.
gonna throw.
With your 19, that was not carved.
I'm gonna throw cloth over my hand because that's where my ring is, just to dim the light.
Okay.
Be like, all right, I'm gonna stick close to you, Trace, because I can't barely see with this tiny bit of light.
Response. Perhaps we should tie ourselves together with rope so we do not get separated.
Hey, I'm up for it.
I'll pull out my rope and I'll make a nice little like thing he can hold on to so I can lead him along. I don't want to say leash, but I mean it could look like one if you had it around your neck. I'm just saying.
Just tie it around his waist, and it'll be a little guide leash that children use.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. Inquiry. In proximity, I believe we have 5 destinations available. We have 2 of the outer ring towers. Do I know what the tuning fork thing is called?
Sorry, Home Slice, you failed your check.
Response, that thing over there. Response, this other thing over there, and that tower over there.
Let's go check out that thing over there.
Inquiry,
tuning
you
fork-
need
I
to be
point-
more specific.
I point to the tuning forks.
I was thinking we go to the closest thing to us first as well, which probably is those things over there.
You got 2 right there. You got the spire thing and the tuning fork things, right?
But we've seen a spire. It was upside down, but we've seen one before, so...
I mean, what does one right side up look like?
That's a very
Hey,
valid point.
That's a good point. Hey,
What we saw, but upside down.
What we saw.
Response,
You know
perhaps
what?
we can check out the tuning forks and then the nearest spire.
You should just have
Hey.
Kappa. You should just walk on your hands. That way, then it's the same experience whenever you go into the spire.
Yeah, but this one won't be covered in magical ice.
And hopefully, nobody gets turned to stone.
hey,
No,
Right.
I'm expecting us to get to turn to stone.
I've had enough experience with stone already, right? To the tuning forks.
Emphasis
Inquiry.
on. Yep.
Are you a dwarf?
No.
Sometimes I guess
Response. Then you probably don't have a lot of experience with stone.
No, he gets experience being stoned.
I mean, he's got experience being blue.
Heyo.
He likes being stoned.
Wow.
Well, maybe I should start writing blues songs. According to you, it would be the best option for me right now.
I
Hey.
have some lyrics for you.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Blue.
Blue,
dee,
dabba
dabby
dee dabba
die.
doo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, Blue. Do you have any clues?
Wow.
Yeah, I went there.
Yeah, you did.
Right?
You could be mute percussionists.
Excuse me. All right, so we are heading to the tuning forks. Is that what I'm understanding?
I believe we're heading to the tuning forks.
Excellent
We're going-
choice.
We're going quietly, right? Like, I didn't
Yes.
write...
Are you?
Yes, we did say that. That was at the very start of this whole
You're
shebang.
going to attempt to go quietly into the night?
Well, that would imply we're all going to die, which could be.
Are we going to pass with Trace?
It's a good question. Are you going to pass with Trace?
Because I'm just clinking around.
Yeah, I guess since Zarcius asked, I will pass with Trace. Well, you're
I
all
mean-
going to pass with Trace.
I
I'm gonna
mean,
pass
Mirren's the one who
myself.
asked if we're passing with Trace, not Zarcius.
He did. Zarcy said we're gonna go sneaky earlier, so
Sneaky is not passing with Trace. And in that case, kids, I need the failed stealth rolls, please and thank you.
hold on.
Oh. Why am I rolling with disadvantage? Hold on.
Because you
His
have heavy
armor.
armor on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is gonna suck.
Man, I gotta play so many or used to be player characters now. God damn.
With disadvantage, I rolled an 18. Bad.
Plus 10.
No,
Yeah.
that was without any plus.
No, I'm just saying, everything's plus 10, though.
Which is lucky because it means mine's a 20 because I rolled a 10. So...
Quasi rolls a 32. Sarsius a 20. Good old Verd, 19. Kappa a 21. Mirren a 28. Marigold 23. Trace a fucking 30. Jesus. Fuck. Both quasi Trace just go. Can't see me.
I'm not far behind him.
I have a very serious question now, because if that is canon, does that mean when
No,
I'm Lightning
that's
Arrow
not
Fighter
canon.
Warrior,
No.
it makes it, and his name is John Cena, and there's an explosion at the end?
Just die. Okay. So
You'd have to multi-class into Barbarian for that to happen.
I already got a different wrestler barbarian. I'm good.
How in the world am I walking so quietly with this heavy ass?
because you're passing with Trace.
It's the soft pause, all right?
Stop pause.
So Alton up at the top right, the spoon-looking icon, or the lute or lyre, depending on how you want to look at it, and then global volume controls. The playlist is what you're going to want to turn down.
Okay, say that again.
Top right, spoon-looking icon, brown spoon-looking icon, and then global volume controls
Ah,
and playlist. That's what you're going to want to turn down. I have mine set for just one notch up from the very bottom. And you're going to want to set all of your volumes to that, in my opinion. All of them to just be one notch up from the far left. All right, as you all are walking up to this particular dope-ass structure, you do notice a couple of things as you get closer. So just for my remembering, Zarsius, you do not have dark vision, and you covered your light.
Yeah, which
So
makes it
everything
20
is
feet dim.
super dim for you.
Yeah.
Got it. And then does everybody else basically have dark vision because you casted it on yourself? You have dark. You don't have. So Kappa is also dim light, blind. All right, and Marigold has it because she gave up an eyeball. Okay, so those of you with dark vision, there is enough ambient light for you to be able to see. And as you get closer, and I'll move you guys. Boop, 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 boop. Maybe I won't move you guys. There we go. Excuse me. As you get closer over here, this structure seems to be like some kind of amphitheater situation where it's dug down. There is stairs and stadium seating all around this large area. The air around this amphitheater seems to be charged with static. You guys can just feel and hear like a hum in the air. You can see that there are some cracked steps that descend down to the stadium floor, where tiny glittering objects rest on pedestals of black stone. You could see that there are three, we called tuning forks. Three metal masts rise from this arena, like gigantic tridents, each one emitting a low hum. The branches of each trident are 25 feet off the ground and extend 50 feet into the air. Now that you are closer, T-Race, give me another historical roll.
Very well then.
Okay. You remember that this is a stadium, that this is for playing a sport called chain lightning.
Information is available.
What information's available?
I remember the name of this sport.
What is it?
Response, chain lightning.
That sounds horrible.
I feel like we should not go into the stadium, but go around it. I don't feel like getting struck by lightning today.
I think let's go check out this
Good
Pa-
idea.
spire behind us. Hey, God, are there any rocks on the ground around me?
I mean, there's small debris.
I'll pick something up and just toss it in there and see if those tuning forks do anything.
It's a very aware. Yeah.
What did you say, Kappa?
I'm stepping away from Mirror as he's trying to do that.
Stepping away from Mirren as he's trying to do that. Okay. Man, I don't think your sound is coming from your headset.
Where else would it be coming from? I have the
Camera.
same on.
Or the laptop itself instead of the headset.
It must be when like I said, it must be when I switched over to Chrome. Everything got turned on.
Chrome has nothing to do with Discord.
How is it on Discord?
That's how we hear you, is Discord. Unless you're using the web version of Discord, which is garbage. Hot garbage.
No. Hold on. I haven't.
Discord did have an update, so sometimes when Discord updates, it changes your settings to default. So that could be why it's doing that.
Does it sound better now?
No, it's the same.
Strange. Because I have one laptop with Discord with my headset plugged in, and the other one I did have Discord running, but I turned that off. So the setup is not anything different from previous.
I would just check your Discord settings, make sure it's your headset that it's putting the audio through.
All right.
It's just hard to hear you. Whenever you do your Kappa voice, it's just harder to hear you because of whatever weird audio nonsense you got going on today.
Sure.
So Mirren, again, there's debris around. You can easily pick some up. No big deal.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to pick some up and just throw it into the middle as close to the tuning fork as I can get it.
Throwing it in. Cool. You chuck the things in, and
How about now?
same.
Really?
as the things clink into the bottom there is a kind of warpage, like you're looking through heat coming off of like a hot, like hood of a car. How it just kind of warps your vision a little bit. And above the center spire, a shimmering head and shoulders of a woman blink into existence. Electric currents course over her teeth, and her form shudders and flickers as she speaks in a strange language.
I'm casting tongues on myself. Do-do. Where is tongues? Tongues, tongues. Pink. That one. Bam. For the next hour, I can understand all spoken languages.
Give me a Arcana check. Let's see if your tongues can actually do something.
Nope.
Much like earlier, the language that was spoken between a certain naked green girl and your robo friend, tongues does not seem to do anything.
Fun.
I am ready. I am ready to receive information.
All right, so you do understand it, and the voice says, "So a new challenger enters the arena. You have 30 seconds to choose your teammates for a game of Chain Lightning."
Information is available.
What's she saying?
I believe you have just started the game of Chain Lightning. You must pick your teammates.
Oh, God.
Wait, what?
I'm not even in the arena. All I did was throw a rock in there.
Response: I do not think that matters. I believe you have been chosen.
25 seconds.
You have 25 seconds remaining.
I'm going to go over here and hide behind some stuff to see what happens.
20 seconds.
I repeat that.
What are the rest of you
stand.
doing?
I'm moving at least 60 feet away from Mirren.
Excellent choice. Excellent choice.
I'm attached to Zarcius via rope, so I believe I am going with him.
Excellent choice. Excellent choice.
I moved away from the party on purpose.
Voice. So what were you saying, Kappa?
I walk further away.
Further away. Okay. Voice comes up. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No players detected.
So I go back to the...
Information is available.
So I'm guessing that you actually have to be in the arena for it to detect players. Based on that reaction.
Response: that is probably correct. But you also probably have alerted all nearby enemies of our location.
So let's go
Hey.
to the spire so we can hide. Well, no, because if there's other things here that might accidentally... are there any signs of other passings through this area besides us?
Give me a investigation roll. Or survival. Both would apply here.
Sweet. I'm good with survival.
Yeah, there is all kinds of. What I mean by all kinds is that you can tell where there is places that nothing has tread in a while, and then there's places that's as obviously frequently used.
Any of them going
And you already know that Trace detected a plethora of creatures in this place.
Any signs of them where they go down into the thing?
Yeah, there are signs.
All right. So, it looks like things normally go in there, so we might not have alerted anybody. There just might be some alerting that something was there. But let's go check out the spire, because I do not want to find out what's down there. Even though I really want to go touch those spires.
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't, touch the tuning forks.
What's a good role for internal struggles?
D2 is my opinion. One you go and two you don't.
It's r/D2?
/r space 1D2.
There it is.
There you go.
Hey.
You lucky son of a gun. What was your history roll, T-Race?
For that,
Yeah.
17, I believe. No, 16. Sorry.
I would say no, but you do know that that the event which was made to pit mortals against each other in an electrified arena was quite popular, and there are trophies as well as other possibilities of rewards for the winning team. Who knows what those could be with after Yithrin has fallen. So as for the rules, you don't know.
Well, I'll just keep that to myself for now then.
Okay. You guys are now going to the closest spire, is that what I'm understanding?
Hey, I think
I
so.
believe so.
Okay.
This one
All
might be
righty. So beyond what this map shows, because the map's pretty, most of these spires that you see really aren't here. They're all been broken off. But this one you do see. This one is broken. This one is broken. In fact, as far as the ones that you guys would have been able to see from this structure, all broken except for this one. So, coming up to this one, the stone walkway leads to a tower that claws upward and inward, so towards you guys, with its pointed roof leaning menacingly overhead. Narrow windows pierce its walls, and you can see gargoyles cling to its eaves. There's a doorway at the base of the tower that gapes open.
I'm gonna go through the opening. My morbid curiosity is getting the best of me.
Can I see if those gargoyles are... I know by nature they're supposed to be stationary, but can I see anything, any type of movement?
I'm afraid that since you do not have dark vision, you barely even know that they are there. Yeah, that everything's dim light and garbage, unfortunately for you. And Unfortunately, Kappa, until it's too late, and if they are alive, they're eating you.
You in particular.
Yes, yes, yes. You in particular.
I'm eating some rations right now.
Excellent news. Okay. So Mira just bolts right in. What are the rest of yous doing?
Just
gonna-
Trace, 'cause I can't
I'll
see.
lead all the blind people sneakily inside.
Okay. All right. So
Eating some
Mirren
rations.
eating some rations. Mirren, you walk into what looks like just maybe a 10 by 15 rectangular structure with what looks like a partially ajar doorway in front of you.
Can I peek through the doorway?
You sure can. I mean, I think so. Would you like
I'm gonna
to?
peek. I'm gonna peek through the doorway. No, it's like it's making sure there wasn't a magical barrier keeping me from peeking into the doorway.
You don't know till you try to peek.
Well, let's try to peek. As
So
I rub my hand all over the door.
of course you are. Of course you are, because you got to. As you peek through, I like how this is fucking up my mask here. As you peek through, you can see a hallway that's maybe 20-ish or so feet long. You can tell there are two other doors, one on each side of the hallway, and you can see there are crumbled steps that went up, but they're broke now, and there's just a bunch of rubble there.
I'm gonna wait for the other guys to show up
Okay. Well, eventually.
and relay what I saw.
I mean, it doesn't take long. They're following just quietly right behind you, so they're there.
Hey, there's two doors in there, and the stairs that look like they went up are completely destroyed.
Is there anything written on the walls?
There is nothing written on the walls in this one. And there's no statues like there were in the last one.
Hey,
I'm gonna.
so, are we really wanting to explore this tower, or are we just going to move on? Because if we really want or need to explore, there are ways to get up, regardless of what the state of the stairs are.
I want to actually check out the two lower rooms.
Hey, we can do that.
Inquiry. Zarcius, do you believe that in our current state that we can outright fight the Frostmaiden?
If we can reach her without having to fight something else first, because that will lower our health probably and our casting abilities, yes. But if we are low on spells and hurt, probably not.
Inquiry, do you believe that we can defeat her while she's drawing upon the power of Yithrin?
Probably, I'd say 50-50, depending on our luck.
Especially if we try fighting her here, where she's really close to that source of power.
Which is why we want to shut off the power first. I'm saying there's a chance we could, but should probably turn the power off first.
Response. Yithrin is a city of advanced technology. Perhaps we will find something that will be useful. I am allowing you to borrow this technology.
How magnanimous of you.
Right? So, if we see something interesting on our way to shut the power off, we can take it. Good. I'm great with that, actually, but our priority definitely should be turning off power first, I think.
Response. Perhaps we will find other Warforged who can assist us.
Hey, that would be nice as well. Except if the cities in her control won't the Warforged attack us if we see them before, you know.
Response. Another reason not to charge towards the Frostmaiden.
Hey,
I'm gonna quietly open the door.
What door? Just the one to the
The
main
one-
hallway?
Yeah, the one to the main hallway that was
Okay.
ajar.
Yep. As you break some ice, opening the rest of the door.